Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm here at Hollywood and Highland Center, just days away from the 89th Academy Awards. A few hundred yards behind me is the red carpet, where this Sunday on February 26th, a lot of Hollywood's biggest and brightest stars will be walking. Now, some of you might be wondering, who am I? Well, I'll tell you who I am. My name is Daniel Thompson. I'm a filmmaker, a writer, an actor, dishwasher. Yeah, I'm living the dream. So anyway, the Academy Awards, or the Oscars as they're more informally called, is an American ceremony hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. They recognize excellence in cinematic achievements here in the United States film industry, as assessed by the Academy voters. Now, although there are a total of 24 categories in the ceremony altogether, in this video I'll be sharing with you my predictions on what I think will happen in 6 categories. I will be talking about the Best Actor, the Best Supporting Actor, the Best Actress, the Best Supporting Actress, Best Director, and of course, the Best Picture. So let's go. The supporting acting categories have been some of the easiest predictions I had to make in most recent years. But first, I want to talk to you about the best performance by an actor in a supporting role. Here are the nominees. For the longest time, Mahershala Ali has been the frontrunner to win the Best Supporting Acting Award for his portrayal as a crack dealer named Juan in Moonlight. Now, his character has been the most interesting and the most contradicting character I've seen in film this year. It broke a lot of stereotypes when it comes to drug dealing characters. First of all, you would think that for a man who deals crack in the hood would be a cool and hard individual. But it turns out this man is an extremely compassionate person with a huge heart who genuinely wants to help a boy named Chiron as he struggles with his own sexual identity in a crime and drug-ridden area where it's not safe for boys like him. In the end, he becomes a father figure to Chiron and teaches him one of the most important lessons about growing up. The character himself deals with the dilemma, knowing that what he does is wrong and sets a bad example for Chiron, especially since his own mother is hooked to the very drugs that he himself is selling on the streets. He knows that for a fact that once he's made a choice to be in a life of crime, it's hard to get out of it. And that is exactly what he tries to protect Chiron from, a world of hate and crime. It is this emotional and textual struggle that makes Juan such a fascinating role to be watched be portrayed by the brilliant Mahershala Ali. Now at this point, I think his only competition is Dev Patel from Lion, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Mahershala Ali will win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
I found him yesterday. Found him in a hole on 15. Yeah, that one. Some boys chased him in the cut. He's scared more than anything. He wouldn't tell me where he lived till this morning.
Now, here are the nominees for the best performance by an actress in a supporting role. Now, the favorite to win this award is hands down, without a doubt, Viola Davis for her portrayal as the devoted housewife Rose in the movie Fences. She is actually reprising the role that she played with Denzel Washington on Broadway in 2010, which also earned her the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play. Only this time, She's nominated in the Supporting Actress category, which has caused some controversy among the members and voters because her role is clearly a lead role. However, this is an old tactic made by the Academy to make assurances that this actor or actress will walk away with some kind of accolade. So, whether it be a lead role or a supporting role, I think it's pretty safe to say that Viola Davis will walk away with some Oscar on February 26th.
I've been right here with you, Troy. I got a life too. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you. Don't you think I ever wanted other things? Don't you think I had dreams and hopes? What about my life? What about me?
Now here is probably the hardest category to predict this year. Here are the nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. Here's where I stand on the Best Actress race. I'm kind of in a state of mind of, as Bob Hope would say, let it be her. But if it can't be her, not her. At this point, all odds seem to be favoring Emma Stone for her portrayal as an aspiring actress in the movie La La Land. Now, personally, I would have gone for Natalie Portman in the movie Jackie because playing a woman who loses her husband in a tragic way and then has suddenly have his whole legacy plunged on her shoulders. I mean, the mental, physical, and emotional struggle to play that role is an incredibly daunting task, and she performed it so beautifully in Jackie. However, because Emma Stone has been winning numerous awards this season, including the Best Actress Award in the Venice Film Festival, the BAFTA Award, the Golden Globe, and the SAG Award, I believe her streak is becoming a fast-moving train that not even Natalie Portman can stop. However, I think there is one actress who may be able to still pull an upset, and that's Isabelle Huppert. Isabelle Huppert is mostly known in France, but she's had a marvelous career, having appeared in over 100 films in just 46 years. In the movie Elle, she plays a woman who is raped in her own apartment and then spends the rest of the time plotting her revenge on her attacker. Now, it's true that the Academy has not given an Oscar to an actor or actress for a performance in a foreign language, not since Marion Cotillard in 2007, when she played Edith Piaf in La Vie en Rose. However, just last month, Isabelle Huppert won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, thus cementing herself in the Oscar race and then posing herself as a real threat to Emma Stone's winning streak. At this point, I do believe it's going to be Emma Stone, but if an upset happens, I believe it will be Isabelle Huppert.
I'm happy for you. I just thought, I don't know what I thought.
One second.
I guess I thought it was...
What? Just out of the phone. Tell her I'll call her back.
And now, for the Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, here are the nominees. Up until most recently, the favorite to win the award for Best Actor was Casey Affleck for his performance in Manchester by the Sea, where he plays Lee Chandler, a secluded janitor who, after the death of his brother, must return to his hometown to take care of his nephew, and it is in Manchester where the shadows of his past return to haunt him. Now, like Emma Stone, Casey has had an enormous winning streak, winning various awards from many critics' associations, but his winning streak is now being threatened by two-time Academy Award winner Denzel Washington. In Fences, Denzel Washington plays a garbage man in a segregated 1950s Pittsburgh who struggles to provide for his family while also reflecting on all the mistakes he's made in his life. Now, granted, Denzel Washington hasn't made a lot of momentum in this race, but ever since he won the SAG Award for Best Actor, and considering that a majority of the Academy is made up of members of the Screen Actors Guild, many have now been convinced that he is now a shoo-in to win this coveted Oscar. However, it is this lack of momentum that has made it hard for me, personally, to think that one award could be the determining factor of how the Academy will select a winner. So, granted, Denzel does have a lot of favoritism on his side, and his role, he played it on Broadway in 2010 and won a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play. However, Casey Affleck's character, Lee Chandler, is unique in regards to his subtlety and the mountain of layers written into his character, all emotionally internalized by his performance. His performance has come to be recognized for its ability to generate a large amount of empathy from the audience. The challenges of playing a role like that, and as realistically as he did, it would have taken a lot of stamina, relatability, and sensitivity, qualifications I believe that Casey Affleck has met when he took on this role. So with that said, and in addition to the amazing amount of momentum that Casey has achieved in this Oscar race, I think the best actor will be Casey Affleck.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
That's not true. That's
There's
not
nothing there. I'm
true.
serious. You don't understand. And I don't
Of
know
course
what
I
this.
do.
I know you understand. I've got to go. I'm sorry.
And now onto the category for Best Director. Here are the nominees. So Best Director. I would just like to say on a more personal note that I was very excited to see Mel Gibson get nominated for his work on Hacksaw Ridge, because it made me think that in spite of his bad history, the Academy can still recognize his extraordinary talent as a filmmaker and as a storyteller in general. So good for the Academy, and congrats to Mel Gibson on his nomination. But anyway, here's who I think will win and why. When I first saw La La Land, I immediately thought that this guy, Damien Chazelle, better get nominated for Best Director, if not win, because what he did was extraordinary. La La Land obviously pays homage to a lot of classic musicals like Singing in the Rain, West Side Story, and American in Paris, but what he was able to do was that he was able to take all the best qualities of a musical and combine them all and make one great musical. And Damien Chazelle also has this talent to blend music and film into one medium, and it's from the music that we get the most feeling from his movies. I mean, his talent was already recognized from his last Academy Award-winning film Whiplash, which, by the way, I personally think he should have been nominated, but it does me good to see that they nominated him now, and I really hope that they give him the award for Best Director. And by the way, if Damien Chazelle does win Best Director, he will be the youngest person in the history of the Academy Awards to win this award. He's 32 years old, by the way.
When we were casting up the movie, part of the appeal to me was that you know Ryan and Emma, they're going to be a couple. You can see them and imagine them together. It was like Fred and Ginger or Bogart and Bacall, a classic Hollywood screen couple.
Most important category of them all, the Best Picture. Here are this year's nominees. The Oscar for Best Picture has now become a two-horse race. In my opinion, it's gonna come down between Moonlight or La La Land. These are two completely different and yet extremely well-made films. In my opinion, Moonlight was flawless in terms of its production. The story was simple, the acting was phenomenal. The technical aspects like the editing, the cinematography, the music, they were all up to par. All led at the helm by writer-director Barry Jenkins. To me, Moonlight is a masterclass in storytelling and directing, with a positive message with coming to terms with your identity and finding peace within yourself. So I wouldn't be too upset if this movie won Best Picture. But then, there's La La Land. Now, La La Land is definitely one of those movies that has an appeal to the nostalgia of old Hollywood and the classic style of filmmaking. And this film definitely will have an appeal to the Academy, since they do have a knack for being self-congratulatory. Just within the last 5 years, the Academy gave its top prize to a bunch of films that glorified Hollywood, like Argo, The Artist, Birdman. However, this film does present a brutally honest look at ordinary people who struggle every day of their lives to fulfill their lifelong passions that seem unreasonable and at times unattainable. It is a film about ambition and how far you are willing to go to achieve your dreams, and how much you are willing to compromise to make those dreams become a reality. And this film definitely has an award-winning streak that's just amazing. It has won every Best Picture award in every major award ceremony that come before the Oscars, like the BAFTA, the Critics' Choice Awards, the Golden Globes, you name them. And also, and more impressively, this film has tied the record for the most nominations in a single film, with 14 nominations. That's happened only twice in the history of the Academy, with Titanic and All About Eve. With that being said, it would seem kind of awkward if La La Land did not walk away with Best Picture, but in this case, I think it will.
You could just write your own rules, you know, write something that's as interesting as you are.
What are you gonna do?
I have my own club.
Is that gonna happen every time?
I think so.
Those are my predictions for the 89th Academy Awards. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you at the Oscars.